Greetings from WBCS New. Yes, there's nothing on the desk as yet. Just a quick go through. What I'm going to talk about today is the G4 stack mat timer. I also obviously got a mat with that, and I must straight away I must thank Peter Hugerson Miller for that, because we cracked a bit of a deal and got it shipped to us and stuff like that. I'm dead chuffed with it. Really nice bit of kit, well looked after, so I was dead chuffed to receive that from him, so thank you for that. I have been informed that he had done his first 3x3 blind solve on that timer, and if anybody's interested in that, I will post a link in the video in the description below. So if you're looking for him, he is called Old Man Link. That is what he's called on his YouTube channel. Please subscribe and follow him if you would mind, that'd be great. Also subscribe, like and share me and stuff like that as well. So what I'm going to talk about is obviously the G4 timer, which is this bad boy here. If you are familiar with cubing or doing those stack cup things that some kids do, you will probably be familiar with these sort of things, which is basically a hands-on timer. You start it, you do whatever you're doing, stacking or cubing, cubing, there you go, cubing, and then you hit it, find your time, blah blah blah. Okay, we'll talk about the stack mat G4. Brilliant bit of kit. It's still the competition user at the minute. There is a G5 out now, which supports, I believe it supports Bluetooth and everything now, so you can connect it directly to PC via Bluetooth dongle or whatever and do times without a cable. In this case, this one will need a cable, and I happen to have a cable I purchased from Cubes UK, and I'll talk about that cable in a minute. So we'll quickly go through this one. If you're not familiar with timers generally, you have two hand pads, generally two, and you have to have them both on to start, release to start the timer, touch them again to stop. Okay. We'll go through the usual buttons. These are the lights, so when you power it on, okay, we've got a red and we've got a green here, but they're not lit up at the time. I'll just reset that. So we've got power on here. If we hold hands on, say the red light flashes, that's telling us it's detected sense, it's detected the short in the hands. If you hold it on, it'll go to the green saying it's ready to start the timer when you release. Okay, you let go, the timer starts. As you can see, put your hands on again, stops. That's the time. That was a nice fast solve. You didn't even say get the cube out. Okay, if you want to save it, so what you do is you've got three options or three memory locations in this one. I'm not going to save because these are my current times I've got on this with a cube, so I don't want to erase them. But if you wanted to, say for instance, if I wanted to overwrite time 1, I'll go back to this, press save for a couple of seconds, and it should start flashing. So it's flashing and showing you which memory location. So you select which memory location you want, then you hold save again until it rewrites it with the new time. Okay, I'm not obviously going to do that. If you want to get out of that at any time, you just press reset once and it goes back to the time that you got. Okay, if you want to clear that, you hit again. Simple as that. That's pretty much it. Okay. This uses 2 times AAA, I believe. I haven't looked inside. I know it uses AAA's because it says on the bottom, but I can't remember how many it's got in here. I would imagine it's got 2 by the looks of the square. It does also have the audio output for the signal, so you can use it on stuff like CSTimer and stuff, which we're going to show you today. So we will get everything set up. Obviously I was quite fortunate because I got a nice mat with this as well. I'm just going to turn off to save the battery. So if I just pull my mat across here, this is my nice little stack mat that I've got. Obviously it's the proper G4 one, it's got the nice G4 dongles on there. To clip this on, you have 2 big grooves on the bottom here. You literally put it in from the right hand side, slide it across and it locks in. Okay, it doesn't go anywhere. It's very very good because it's got rubber feet on the bottom of these, so you can use this on a table by itself and still be sturdy, or the mat just gives it that little extra. It's good for the cubes, so when you're dropping cubes, if you're scrambling and you go, oh, and you don't want to be just doing this because it takes more time. But if you drop the cube, you can do it a lot faster. So that's what it says. It's just to break the fall of the cube, so you don't scratch your cube or damage it in any way. So technically you shouldn't break it with this mat. It's a nice little mat, just I would say thick enough. It sounds, the cubes sound like the bash, but they're not. It's a firm surface, but there is, if you push your fingers on, there's enough spring in there to stop any damage. And it's a beautiful mat, so I'm dead chuffed. Again, thanks Peter for that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about the cable, and then we'll show you how to check the cable, connect it up and stuff like that. I won't be showing you how to connect it to the PC. You should know how to do that, but I'll tell you where it connects to. So if I can find the cable, where have I put it? So I got this one from Cubes UK, and I'll explain what the cable is just in case you were after getting one. It is an audio stroke data cable, because it sends audible data to the CSTimer and sets it off for triggers and stuff like that. Okay, so it listens to the tones and stuff and triggers it. So we have got, I'll show you the whole cable in a minute. So we've got on the left here, we have got 3.5 standard stereo male jack plug, and on the right we have the tinier, the smaller 2.5 angle adapted stereo jack. Okay, they are connected stereoly, and I'm just watching my camera pause for a minute there. For some reason my camera just paused. The one thing I do like about this cable particularly is it's got this, and this is a very key factor if you are using anything audio wise. It is basically an RF choke. Basically it stops anything. This length of cable will pick up radio frequencies. That's what wires do. Wires act generally as natural antennas. So if you get somebody like a taxi going past and talking on his radio, the wire can pick that up, that noise, and transfer it into your audio circuitry, as it were, on the computer. And this is what this does. This is basically, it's like a brick wall for that signal to not get across and into the cable. So this short bit is short for a reason, so there's less chance of any signal getting picked up by this tiny bit of wire compared with this length. This is the 2 meter length cable from Cubes. Again, I'll put links in the description for all this so you can purchase it if you want one. Highly recommend this cable. It's nice, it's thin, so it's not going to look too bulky and stuff. It's very flexible, which is good, and like I say, it's got the choke on it, which is, I would say, essential for any audio connection. Okay, so we're going to connect this up, so I'll show you how it connects up. So take your G4 off its pad if you've got one. If you haven't got one, then just lift it up. So facing you, you can just simply plug the blue smaller one. The red one won't fit. Don't try to fit it in, you will break it. Okay, it's in there nice and snug. It rotates around. It actually rotates around quite well to about there, so you can get away with going that way. It doesn't go that way very well underneath, but for me on my table, I am hanging it over the edge sort of thing, so it hangs over here quite nicely, and I'm going to secure this cable underneath, and then it's going to go to the back of the PC. Today I'm plugging it into the front of the PC just to make life easy for the video. So I'm plugging this in, and that is now in the audio input. Okay, you can use line in and auxiliary in on sound cards, but as a golden rule you should really use a microphone, because you've got a little bit more selectivity with that and sensitivity and stuff. Okay, so from here we are going to try and ensure everything is working. And how do we do that? By using the computer's inbuilt audio circuitry and stuff. We can do it that way. You can monitor the sound, but I don't want to do that when I'm recording. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to minimize that. So I am going to turn off my desk for now. In fact, no, I'm not. Yes, I am. Am I? Yes. Yes, I'll turn off my overhead camera for the minute. So we're now going to look at my screen here. I'm just going to quickly jump to this. So this is CSTimer. If you don't know it, you want to be going to CSTimer.net. What I will tell you now, what a lot of YouTube videos tell you when you're trying to figure out why your G4 doesn't work, is you need to go to the secure version of the website, which is just http with the S, okay, then / //CSTimer.net, and that'll take you to the secure one. It should normally go there naturally anyway when you search through Google and stuff. It very rarely will go to the non-secure site. Okay, I think they have made it a proper secure site now where you can't have that problem. As you can see here, I have CSTimer already set up to accept whatever I use for a microphone. So it should have microphone. There we go. So it's set up for my microphone. I'm just going to minimize this for now. The easy way to test your G4 is that we've got it switched off at the minute. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am just going to open the Windows menu at the minute, and I am just going to type in sound. Okay, in fact, no, we'll go the better way. If we go into control panel, so if you just type in control, you should get control panel here. Okay, from here, if you haven't got this list of stuff, I will go by category just to see. Hardware and sound, you can go that way, okay, but I would say go to category, go to large or small icons, whichever you want. Okay, we'll go large icons so you can see them. And then from here you want to go to sound. The reason why I say that is because when you click on here, it will give you the exact thing you need to check. Okay, so if we just minimize this and we'll have a look at this. Where you want to go is you want to go to recording, because you want to be recording your microphones. As you can see down here, you can see my voice is talking at the minute. You can see the microphone of the web camera, I think it is, it's picking up. So what we need to do is we need to make sure this is working. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to, as you can see here, we have got nothing on this microphone. If we just pull up my GoPro for a second and I switch this on, so I've got something on the display, and if I switch back to the actual desktop, you will see now I have got a constant tone. Okay, and I'll show you this. You can see there I've got it about 75%, and this is where I would aim it at. If it's off the scale when you switch it on, you might want to reduce it. Okay, it's not a hard thing to do. Other things we'll talk through as well. We'll go through that now. So if you do 2 clicks on that, okay, you can listen to it. I'll let you listen to it. Hopefully it should pick it up. I don't know if you can hear that or not. Probably not. Oh, I've got to apply on there. Okay. That's the sort of noise that comes through, and that's why I said don't switch that on. If you can hear it, it's a horrible noise, and if you've got your speakers very high, you could damage them. Okay, so you picked that up through the microphone, I think. I don't know if it was through the actual circuitry. We'll find out. So what you want to do is you want to go to custom. Make sure microphone boost is off. If it's right up the top end of the scale, you want to turn microphone boost off, and that will reduce it back down to a normal level. This doesn't matter because it's just saying it's the front panel microphone. If I turn that off, obviously it'll kill it off because I'm using the front panel. Levels. So what you want to do is you want to pull this side by side so you can see this. So as I reduce this, I've got this on 75%. As you can see, as I reduce it, it's going down. Okay. At some point it won't register in CSTimer because CSTimer is monitoring the sound and responding to it. Too loud could be just too distorted. Okay, so what you're trying to do is you're just basically trying to back it off until you get rid of that top bar. Okay, so it's roughly about 75. So I rounded it off to 75 because I could. Okay, so I just took it down to 75. Quite happy with that level. It's not peaking. So that's what I've done. Set it to 75. You can go in the advanced. I would probably select 2 channel 16-bit 44.1 kilohertz. Okay, which is CD quality. That's a standard CD quality. Okay, that is all you need for it. You don't need to have bells and whistles. 192 kilohertz studio quality. You're not going to benefit from it. It's not going to make anything better, because it's probably already pumping out in 44 kilohertz stereo. Okay, so chances are you're not going to gain any benefit other than possibly screw the signal up completely. So keep it as CD quality. That is all you need for audio generally as a rule anyway. Okay, so click OK. We've got it work. We know it's working in here, so we click OK. We'll go back to CSTimer. So we've got CSTimer up and running here, so we have a look at it. So we're turning that off. Okay, we can see that as CSTimer, I turned it off and turned it back on. It detected the signal, so we know it's getting signal from there. If it didn't, what you can do is up here with this camera microphone situation. Okay, what you want to do is you might want to need to click, because it might not be selecting the microphone. I had this problem. It was selecting my default microphone is obviously the microphone I am recording with, so I didn't want to use that in CSTimer. So if you click on manage, this should open your microphone section for the website. So this is it's got Facebook and CSTimer in here. So you would click on that and change it to whichever is your input for your timer, okay? And then you just click OK. You have to refresh the page for it to initialize, and it should work from there. So if you don't get anything on the timer when you switch it on and off on CSTimer activating, we'll show you the part of that as well. So that's all set up anyway. So CSTimer, in CSTimer in the options, this is one thing you have to do. So you've got timer, I think it's in there, is it in there? Yeah, enter in times with, normally it's with timer, okay? So you do that, that's got your space bar, timer. So you click on there, click on timer, switch timer to stack mat. Yeah, I'm going to switch this off just for an example. So stack mat, okay. So it doesn't know there's anything there. When you turn your stack mat on, if you've got everything else set the right way, the zeros will come up. That means it's getting a signal from this to say it's ready to go. To use this with CSTimer, this took me a good little while to figure out, okay? To get inspection started, say for instance we're going to do this cube. So I'm just gonna mix this up for a laugh. It's going to be a bad time because I'm on example, so it's always going to be a bad time. So what I'll do is I shall put that on the table. You hold one hand, left hand, on the left hand thing. Okay, that starts the timer off. Okay, so put your two hands on. When your little red light and green light are on, you can let go and it'll start the timer. So we shall do that.
12 seconds.
There we go. So we're doing a cube. I'm going to pretend because I'm not going to really do it. But just say I've got a nice record now. Ooh, 7.8 seconds. Fantastic. Now, as you notice there, it didn't come up on the screen. That's quite normal. And what you've got to do is you've got to hold your left hand on again to send the information to the screen. As you can see, over here, it's registered that time. Okay, so don't panic when it's still saying solving. It's just because you haven't sent the information over, and that's what the left hand paddle does. It initializes everything. Your two hands start and stop your actual recording, and then the left hand again sends the next pulse of information to it, and that's how you register your time. Okay, so don't get in the habit when you've solved to hit the reset, because if you then hit the time, it'll probably send the wrong time to the thing. I haven't tried that, which I'm going to try in a minute. So I'm going to try that again. So I'm going to hit reset. I'm going to hit lefty. I'm going to start it and go. Okay, I'm going to stop it. Whoa, got a world record. Okay, hit reset in a panic, and you see what happened there? It's gone back into the thingy because I hit reset and it hasn't sent information, so it thinks I failed it.
8 seconds.
Okay, so I'm just going to start this again and stop it, and then I'm going to send it. Okay, so as you can see, it didn't register that fail, and this is what I mean. Don't hit your reset when you've done the solve. Always hit that left hander first and make sure it turns up in CSTimer first, especially if you're doing online competitions with recording, because you're going to have to mess up and use one of the spare scrambles. Okay, so that's pretty much it. And it's great. I've called this one G4 timer for the session, and you can just do that. Okay, so it's that's pretty much it. I can't really say much else. That's as far as it goes. There's no other special features as far as I know. If anybody knows anything extra about the G4 thing, please a comment below and just tell us any other hidden features that I've missed or overlooked. I haven't had much time to play with CSTimer because I've only just got the lead a couple of days ago, and I've been testing and making sure everything works for this this review. I love the G4. I've never had a timer, and I haven't noticed a huge difference. If you haven't got a timer and you're one of these people who is a cuber and you're using the keyboard to start and stop, get rid of it. Get a timer. I thought I was averaging 29 seconds for a solve. It turns out I'm averaging between anything from 20 seconds to 25, which is a big leap, just because I've changed to a timer, a proper timer, because I've used the G4. It's that extra time I've gained from releasing, picking up and dropping and touching. There's significantly less time there than what I would do with a spacebar, looking for a spacebar or focusing on a spacebar. Maybe I'm losing time on the solve because I'm half focused on making sure I hit the spacebar correctly, because you could hit another key and it could screw the whole thing up, and that's probably in the back of your mind. So now that you've got something where you're starting literally in the same place, you stop. There's no thought process. You just put your hands down, hit the pads. As long as you hit the pads, you've done the time. So there's a lot less thought in it. There you go. That's pretty much it. Please comment below and see what else you wanted to find out about. If there's any questions at all, drop us a post in the comments. I'll provide links to Peter's YouTube channel and his BLD solve, I think it is, that he posted to me, and links obviously to Cubes UK. Big shout out to them getting the cable to me and stuff like that. Respect to that. Really nice cable. Can't wait to plug it back in the back of the PC, because I ripped it out of the PC today to do the review on stuff and to show the setup. Any questions, fire away. Until the next time.